Hi, my name is Paula Beltran Gutierrez, and this is my editing statement for project number 2. And to start off, I would say that the intro statement that I had made in the beginning didn't really correlate with what I ended up with, but I think that's kind of the process of taking pictures and taking audio for the first time. I really just let myself take up on the cardinal rule of multimedia reporting, which is just doing things in the moment and letting things be live. Sometimes what we have in mind isn't what we end up with, so I really took that to heart, and I hope that that's showcased in the project here. To start off with the portrait, this was the plan was to do my sister, and that's what ended up happening. So I took pictures of her in natural light. I took a couple pictures in different angles, and I think the one that I put out there is the one that looked the best in the best lighting. Then it was the capturing the real moment. I had initially wanted a moment between my mom and my dad when they first get home, because it's always very warm when like a very warm moment they share together. But I ended up taking a picture of my sister and my mom laughing. It was really funny because I was just there with them, and I could see them, like, they were laughing so hard, and in that instant I thought of this project. So I would say that the picture does need a better lighting. We were downstairs in my basement, and the only type of lighting that was coming in that picture was through the chimney that we had on. It was a little cold that day, so we turned on the chimney, and so the colors are very warm. I tried editing it, and I did edit the picture, but I felt like it definitely needed more natural light, or even like artificial light or something more to brighten up. But in the moment, I just really wasn't thinking, and I just took the picture. For subject of interest, the initial idea was to take a picture of something outside my backyard, like a trampoline, but I was walking around downtown Chicago, like closer to West Loop, and I saw this brick building, circular looking, and in the background was just very metallic and like high-rise buildings in a very clear blue sky, and the buildings were really blue on the background as well. So I just thought that the brick chimney made such a contrast in like such a futuristic city, and so I took lower angles of that picture, and I think that one is probably my favorite. I did edit it. It was I just made the sky a little more blue, and a little so the brick made even more of a contrast, just to highlight the building work, as it is the subject of interest. Then for the 3 different shots, the initial objective was to take a picture of something very mundane and very like a sink I had mentioned in my intro, but I ended up doing a lavender plant that I had in my backyard. It was kind of chromatic and a little mundane because it is dried, it's not purple, and it's not filled with like life and bees and as it is in the summer. But I think that this one was really interesting because as I was taking pictures of it, I was having a lot of fun of doing shots from above, shots from below, shots inside of the plant, and so that's what I submitted. I turned in one that was high rise, one that was low, and focusing on one stem, and then one inside of the plant. So I think they all gave different vibes. The one up and above I felt was like it felt like a drone picture, you know, when you're looking up at a forest. So that's what the feeling it gave me. And then the one looking down, it almost felt like you were looking up at a mountain. And then the one inside felt like you were inside of a little forest. So I think that I could have done a little better with the editing. I really liked the natural light, and so I kept it as it is for the most part. For the portraits, for the favorite thing of the person, I took a portrait of my sister. This is the audio recording, and I really liked what she said. I ended up asking her to close her eyes before I even asked her the question to tell me about her favorite thing, and then I kind of just told her to pretty much tell me what she was thinking when I said a word. And so I said I first asked her to state what her favorite thing is, which was art and music. And so I ended up telling her, like, okay, what are the first things you feel when you hear these? And so she just kind of went and said that sentence that I recorded. and so I think that it was very nice because she was closing her eyes and she took a really deep breath, and I could really tell it was a very genuine response. For Sounds of Nature, so I did, well, the initial was to do something a little more quiet. I think I was attempting to do a little more quiet, but as I mentioned in my intro, I live in the city and I live very close to a very populated road, or avenue. So I tried to get as quiet as I could, but I couldn't. That is my nature. My nature was my dog shaking his tail and blowing his nose and barking at birds and cars passing by. I think that was probably one of the quietest moments because it was midday, and so there wasn't a lot of traffic happening. There wasn't a lot of honking, but in my nature is not quiet. It's not birds chirping. It's not just the wind. So I think that I kind of stayed true to what I had mentioned in my intro. For Sounds of Civilization, the initial was to record a CTA train from stop to stop, but I ended up doing the CTA bus instead because that felt a little more populated, and also I was riding the bus in the moment, and I'm like, this is perfect because the bus was lowering down and it was just arriving at a stop, so I caught it right at the right moment to record. So and I think it's there's no other sound of civilization like the one happening in everyday life, like the bus and transportation. So I wanted to see that in motion, and I did with the bus. A thing that makes noise, the initial was also a stove. I wanted to, like, you know, when you first turn on the stove, the little clicking sound it makes, but I ended up doing a microwave because I came back to my dorm. I didn't have a stove available, and so I recorded the microwave. I think overall with the audio, I'm still learning to navigate tuning out audio and the background noise. So actually for so a thing that makes noise, which is the microwave, there was people kind of like yelling in the courtyard. So I actually tuned that out and try to maximize the sound of the microwave more than anything in the background. But I think I still have a lot of practice to go, and yeah, but overall I think that I really enjoyed this project and I think I did okay. I hope that you enjoyed looking at the pictures and listening to the audio as much as I had fun doing it all. So thank you and have a great day.